One. Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? It is Friday Night Live, the Deacon Board. We are on. We are live. We are chilling.
Live.
We are here. We are live. Like live.
Friday night.
Friday
Live,
Night
live.
Live. Friday Night Live on the bullshit, as you can see. So listen, tonight is not for the super saved. If you super saved,
if you ever see me, it ain't about no save.
Just
clock out. When you see me,
clock out.
Clock out.
Just be like, oh, here come Ed with the mess.
Go on, clock out.
Go ahead and clock out because we're going to have a good time tonight. We got a lot to talk about. Ebs already rolled up. She's already rolled up. She got the blunt in one hand and the pole on her left side. So she is ready to go. So tonight, I'm joined by my girl, Ashia Simpson, my other girl, Ebony Jordan, and we just gonna talk. Show the poll, Eb.
It's not my poll. I cannot take credit for this poll. So,
all right,
I'm not gonna do that.
But can you use it?
No, I cannot. I'm fat.
You're so stupid.
I'm fat, and I have very little upper body.
That's a lot of upper body.
So,
yeah,
exactly.
That upper body.
And I got big titties. So no, it's one or the other. You got to have big upper body strength, or you can't have big titties, and you got to be skinny. Like it's either or, and I choose the thickness. This is a choice. You're welcome. Y'all bitches better be glad I'm skinny. I'm fat.
Wait a second, doggone it. Wait a second. Let me put this allegedly on there. Everything is allegedly.
Everything tonight is allegedly.
Not me taking your man, but
my. Because you know why? Because they don't care. The two that I have up here tonight, they do not care. All right. But tonight, listen, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk a lot of junk. Ashia may get her position stolen, taken out the church after this episode, but it's not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time. I'm gonna tell you this: one of our best episodes was the episode that you and Sean did on that Sunday night, the Sunday night
singles
dating,
one,
the singles dating. Oh my God, yo, people are still watching that.
Call me for that one.
It was a while ago, but people were still watching.
It was a while ago too. That was a good show,
and it was wild. They went on for like 2 hours. It was real wild.
That's one of my favorite topics.
Speaking of Sean, he was supposed to join us tonight, but he's out on a date. I'm not going to talk about him. I'm not going to tell you what I told him, but Sean, good luck.
Wear a condom.
If you get that far.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Get that far. You're not about to do my boy like that.
He gonna
get that far. It's low key shady too.
Sean gonna call up in the middle of the show. He gonna be pissed. He gonna be real mad. But it is what it is.
Low key shady, but
it is low key shady. But it is what it is. He ain't here, so we're gonna talk about it. He should have showed up. He should have showed up. All right. So tonight on our agenda, first off, we're definitely gonna talk about Slapgate. I mean, look, everybody's talking about it, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. We're gonna talk about. I'm in mourning because the Lakers played like shit all season, and so they're home right now. They're actually playing, but
as they should be.
They're going to Cancun. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
As they should.
I bleed purple and gold, sis. I'm in Los Angeles. I can't not.
As they should.
My cousin Katanji Brown Jackson, Justice Jackson now.
And that's why I have on my Shirley Chisholm for President shirt.
There you go.
In her honor today.
In her honor. Rand Paul's trash. And, where's his neighbor when we need him? Rand Paul's a punk. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about something a little funny. Ashia and I were talking about this the other day. But we're going to Easter Sunday is coming up next Sunday. This Sunday's Palm Sunday. Next Sunday's Easter Sunday. And we're going to talk about why Easter Sunday was so traumatizing to little black church kids. Everybody knows why. Everybody had to do Easter.
I just started grabbing the back of my hair.
Right.
It got real hot.
That just
right
started.
Here. It got real
that was
hot.
nice.
It got
I
real.
just heard my mama say, "Sit still." Oh yeah.
Sit still. And you better learn your speech. You better learn that Easter. No speech.
How about I still know my little cousin's speech that I had to help her learn. I still
because you didn't want her to be abused.
I didn't want her to be abused.
With that, I don't want you to be abused, baby.
Well, actually, she didn't have her front teeth, so we just wanted her to say it over and over because of that. You little kids with no teeth, because we weren't nice kids.
Y'all weren't nice. That's cold blooded.
Well, no, I did help her with her speech, but it was mostly because I wanted to hear her talk with no teeth in her mouth.
You're so stupid. You're so dumb. And then the last topic for tonight, we're gonna get into the New York Post had an article last week on why black women need to marry white men. Now, It was written by a Black author. The opinion piece is written by a Black author. And this is not the first time he's written it. Matter of fact, he has an entire book on why, just looking at statistics of the type of money Black women make versus the type of money Black men make, and then comparing and contrasting that to Black men, and the fact that the percentage of Black women that are married is actually equal to the percentage of Black women that are actually divorced, which is pretty interesting also. So we're gonna tackle that tonight. So anyway, let's start off with Slapgate, get it over with. Let me start with this. I think Will Smith is somewhere laughing his ass off that he was suspended from participating in the Academy for the next 10 years.
Did they forget that he boycotted already?
Right.
But who cares? Who
Right.
cares?
I'm like, who cares?
Not only that, it literally means nothing because Roman Polanski, who was accused of raping a child, he has not been suspended.
It was all sexual predators. Bill Cosby.
What's his name?
It was all people.
So
Weinstein.
If you're Weinstein with 81 Oscars, if you're not going to suspend people who have done egregious acts as such against children, against women, why should we care that a man fully in control of all of his faculties made a decision because he was offended by something somebody said about his wife?
So what was crazy to me is I went back and looked and I said, okay, so let's say this 10 years, he got 10 years, like a decent sentence, right? But then I said to myself, that's about right on time for the next time a Black man wins Best Actor in a Motion Picture is in 10 years, because it was,
and he gonna come out swinging.
It was 2006 the last time a Black man won Best Actor. So that was
quick caveat to his suspension. It does not mean he cannot be nominated for an Oscar. It literally only means that he cannot go to the ceremony. So who gives a shit?
Who want to sit in that?
I don't want to sit in that.
I don't care.
It is what it is on that.
And it's still COVID. Shit, I might get the Rona sitting next to y'all bitches all right. Nah.
Correct. So basically it just means that the Oscars will still be white. Oh,
right.
It's always. And always have been.
But getting to the slap, who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Because actually, when you called me earlier, I was talking to my cousin, and this is what he wanted to talk about today. And for me personally, I don't really have a feeling on what he did, but I know why he did it. And I totally understand. To use a Chris Rock euphemism, I don't agree with him, but I understand. He was offended by what this man said about his wife. Period. He acted on his offense of what this man said about his wife. I don't agree with him getting on the stage to do it, but I understand why it happened. And honestly, I'm all right with it. Although I wish he would have just got him backstage and just like hook and jabbed his ass and
beat him down
with a black eye. Like,
if we go fight, let's fight.
Really fought him, right? But he did what he did. Okay.
I think I'm completely over the cancel culture. I'm over that cancel culture. Where did that come from? Who birthed that? What is that?
Some crazy.
Well, I hear about Jada being canceled way more than Will, which is very puzzling.
Jada, so.
Right. But it's so puzzling to me, the think pieces that I've read over the past week, or skimmed, because I'm not giving too much attention to Chris, any of that shit.
Right.
But the ones that I've skimmed, it's mostly she should have stopped him. She could have done this. And I'm like,
she should have, yeah.
This is a grown ass man. Fully in control of his mind, where he knows where he's supposed to be, knows what he's doing. How can she?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna say allegedly. But how can he? Excuse me. How can she?
You didn't even take a puff in your coffee.
Doing what he wanted to do.
She couldn't. She couldn't.
How could she?
And you know what?
I have a question though. They
hate
did she trigger him to do it with a look? Because we react. Husbands, boyfriends, long time, whatever, buddies, we react to your facial expressions. So did he react to her facial expression? That's the question.
Well, maybe he did react to her facial expression, but this is a married couple. So they have conversations, intimate conversations that we are not privy to. She has talked about her alopecia publicly, but you don't really break down and say how you really feel about something unless you're with somebody you truly trust.
You trust and lie. Yep. He said lies.
So the conversations that they've had about that subject, in conjunction with him seeing her face, could have been the catalyst to the slap.
Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't give it. Most people don't know that I didn't know she had alopecia until after the slap happened the day after. Oh, she has alopecia. He was talking about her alopecia. Yo, I've seen people with alopecia. They don't look like they got a nice fade. Okay. She has a nice fade.
They don't.
She has
I think the joke was more so geared to me. The joke that I got was, the G.I. Jane actress went with that young man.
Correct. That was exactly what it is. G.I. Jane.
So that was
because
the
remember,
joke for
Demi
me.
Moore, and if you remember the movie G.I. Jane, she overcame so much that you shouldn't be offended by someone calling you G.I. Jane.
Exactly.
There's no way. The other piece is Demi Moore was dating Ashton Kutcher, who was like 24 years old when she got with him, and she was well in her 40s. So that's the other piece of the joke. And
the joke wasn't about that. The joke was about, I don't know why I'm choking you guys.
You know why you're choking? Pull up what's in your right hand.
I
Pull
haven't
up what's
been smoking.
Ebs,
It's way
you don't know
over
why
here.
you choking?
I'm like,
tell the people
tell the truth. Before we came on the air,
it could be this
it ain't
too.
allegedly. No, Ebs, it ain't allegedly.
Before we came on the air, she was
I said this must be really good.
No, but that's not. It's like a tickle. Anyway,
it's a tickle in your
that
throat.
I don't think
it's them kids.
I don't think the joke really had anything to do with the movie. Shut up. I don't think the joke had anything to do with the movie, which could have also been the catalyst for her reaction.
Absolutely, it could have been.
Okay.
And somebody in the comments said Regina Hall's joke. They're friends, so I'm sure she ran it by her friend.
Yeah, I think that doesn't compare. I think that's totally, you can't compare those two. And you can't really compare that at all.
All I know is I really think, and I'm gonna agree with Jerry here. He was probably fed up with all the jokes about his wife and all the jokes about their marriage and all the
their
jokes
marriage
about
was
their
on the,
relationship. It was, I think he was fed up with all of that, and he was
at his breaking point.
He was at his breaking point. But okay, and I'm gonna say this right now. Listen, I'm ready to say a word. I'm gonna have to. No, I can't, because I need to put this up on Spotify, so I can't put it up. I can't say too many curse words tonight. If you wanted to protect your wife, if you were really protecting your spouse, you should have told her to shut up 2 years ago when she pulled out that red table and started telling all your business publicly. I think everything is not made for public consumption. Everything in your relationship is not made for public consumption, even though she said she told about the quote unquote entanglement because what's that kid's name? What's he was going to say something about it, or he had a song coming out about it. She should have just shut up. She should have just shut up about it.
I think when you live in public like that, you live in that world, you got to be open and available. Now, I don't think Chris was right. I mean, I don't really have a side in it, but when you live in that world, we got to stop thinking if I tell all my business on social media, then people are going to talk about it.
She is right. I give Rock a whole lot of credit
because
because
talk to
he was getting ready to go in. You could see Chris Rock's face. He could have said some stuff. He could have said some stuff.
Right.
I give him credit for being quiet.
So would that have made it
better?
Acceptable?
It would have been funny as hell.
It would have been hilarious.
It would have
made for great TV.
Would it have been acceptable?
Would it have been appropriate? Probably not.
Would it have been appropriate?
Probably
because
not.
because let's say the slap never happened, but the jokes did.
Then everybody would have been okay with it.
So and the issue for me is I'm tired of seeing Black women be the butt of jokes all the time. We are always week before the Oscars, we watched 10 white men verbally abuse a Black woman in a job interview.
So let's go ahead and switch topics to that. what they did in the Senate Judiciary Committee, the committee hearing, was absolutely horrendous. It was
brutal.
Literally, this woman is more qualified to do your job. She's qualified to do your job that y'all not even doing right. I mean, I don't how and she had to sit there. She took it. Yo, she took it with grace.
She took it, you
her
guys.
Dignity. She took it with
because
dignity.
Let me tell you about Ebony. I would have called all they mamas some hoes. I can't. No, I can't.
What you would have did to Coming to America?
I'm not built like her.
F you.
I have such a respect for Justice Jackson Brown Jackson. That couldn't be me. Because Ted Cruz, your mama's a bitch. Josh Harley, your mama should have swallowed you. Like, it would not have gone that way for me. I would have just left.
This ain't right. Spotify, Dante.
It's gonna make it. I'll just have to put it. I'll have to put the expletive tag on it. It'll be fine.
I'm not the one or the two. So
yeah, it was brutal. It was like
for her
real
to sit there
brutal
and take that. It gave me. I already respect Black women infinitely, but it made me puff my chest out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, if she could have that much restraint, maybe one day I can too. Like, no.
It was her friend for me. It was her friend for me. I said, I need some friends. If you ain't got friends like that'll hold you down. She was holding it down.
She did. She did hold her down.
Hey,
and Jerry
fun
said
fact about her: she's related to Paul Ryan by marriage.
I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah,
the friend.
Paul Ryan, the former Congress or senator.
Yeah, senator.
She's related to him by marriage. I believe her sister-in-law is married to
Paul Ryan's brother or something.
Some kind of way they're related by marriage.
Well, I mean, it is interesting. And yes, Jerry, you do have a point. That's what they do in Congress. That's what they do when they're during the hearings, because the Democrats have said some things about Republican appointed people that were foul. I'm not gonna say rightfully so, but to see that happen to her over and over again. But this lady she's qualified. She's qualified,
beyond qualified.
Because Amy Klobuchar, the last person they put on the bench, she's never tried. She's never prosecuted anyone. She's never gone to trial.
The thing that bothered me the most. Yes, I understand, Jerry, that's what Congress does. Yes. But they were attacking her on her record. And I didn't understand at first. I had to read what she was referring to when she said Congress sets these terms and lets you decide what you do. I had to go and read it. It literally says at your discretion. Right. And she's not new to this. Correct. These trials weren't her first trials.
Correct. And
she doesn't strike me as a person who does not do their research.
Correct. So
I'm sure when she made these decisions, for instance, the one that she made on the 18-year-old who had inappropriate pictures on his electronic devices, he never touched anyone. And I'm not saying what he did was right, but what I'm saying is he never physically touched anyone. He had pictures of it, which is terrible in itself. Right. But giving him a sentence stronger than what he had would have been overkill.
Correct.
And then their argument would have been she's too tough. She doesn't think people can be rehabilitated. Right. So
they would have found the argument either way it went.
Something to say.
They would have found
because they literally only talked about 8 cases out of over 100.
Right, which is crazy. But they have to nitpick. They have to find something. Right. It's like that manager you always have. No matter what you do, that's great.
Good you're doing
it's always never good enough in their eyes because they have to find something wrong.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, they can't do what you can do.
I had one of those. Dante, remember when I worked at the payroll place?
I remember that.
I had exactly what you said, Ashia. Yeah. Did not know how to do the job, but wanted to tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
Right. You can't do what I do, but you want to tell me what to do. Kill yourself. I mean, that's just how sometimes you want to respond to them, just kill all that noise. So congratulations to Justice Brown Jackson. I hope, I don't want to wish ill on anybody, but we already know that Clarence Thomas is getting ready to get up out of there because once they find out this January 6th committee and what his wife was involved in, they're probably going to try to impeach him because judges can be impeached. So that's going to be interesting.
Which is really shameful because he is the second Black man to hold that position. And it's not like we didn't know that he wasn't a good guy. We already knew from way back in the Anita Hill days that he wasn't a good guy. So honestly, it doesn't surprise me.
But
you didn't think he could be reformed? No, you didn't think he. No.
I don't even know about
this is the thing. Reformed. I've read several articles about him over the years, and one thing that stands out in all of these articles is the way he purposely tries to distance himself from his past, from his upbringing. He probably hates his black skin more than anything, and it's very evident in his mannerisms and how he is.
It was it's rough. I never ever want to question another black man and their blackness, if they like their blackness or love their blackness or not. A lot of that, we're not monolithic, right? So there's so many different flavors of who we are as people. I just think he had a different political outlook. There are people that have different political outlook, and that's just, they have to live with that. I don't have to live with it. I don't have to agree with you. Like today, I probably shouldn't say this on here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We went to we had a contractor come to the house, and she took us around to see some other work they did in our community. And I pull up to the house. We pull up to the house, and there was a big flag up there that said Trump won. And I'm like, damn, But so automatically, I'm like, this guy is a jerk. He's probably borderline racist, blah, 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 blah. And he was actually genuinely a nice guy. Horrible, in my opinion.
What does nice have to do with
horrible political? Political affiliation is horrible.
But when I see stuff like that, when I see a red hat, my brain automatically goes to racist. That's the symbol for that. Right,
but I think when I met him, I was like, now I am foul, because he went to shake my hand, and I grabbed that some bit. What's going on? Looking dead in his eye, we face to face right now. So you're going to have to respect me just like I respect you. I don't know. I just think that Thomas has a different political affiliation. I'm not going to question his blackness.
I don't think his political affiliation has anything to do with the way he hates black people. Honestly.
Okay. I respect what you're saying,
but
damn.
But he does not strike me as a person who loves himself.
But his wife is absolutely foul, and she needs to be.
His wife is.
Did you guys read the article on her in the New Yorker? I believe it was.
Yes. I skimmed it because
No, I read it.
Oh, so what did the article?
Because I've had very specific feelings about his wife since she sent left that voicemail for Anita Hill, telling her that she needs to apologize to her husband. I've had very specific feelings about her since then.
Really?
One thing that stood out to me in that interview was something that was actually, once her text messages and stuff came out, it was kind of confirmed for me that she's the brains behind that entire operation.
Oh yeah.
The New Yorker article talked about their closeness and how they're always together and they do everything together and this and that. And then those text messages come out, and one of them said, "I was just talking to my best friend." And that's one thing that they consistently have called each other over the years.
Best friends.
You're my best friend. So that was just confirmation that she is the brains behind this entire operation. Not to mention her affiliations to certain groups in the area that they live in. She's basically a daughter of the revolution, you guys.
Yes, she is.
It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting because
the American Revolution.
The Supreme Court is supposed to be the most impartial area of our legislature.
How?
They have to be.
How?
Because this is the thing. Even the Republic. The thing is, and a lot of people aren't able to do this, and I don't think it has anything to do with law or anything like that. You can have your own personal moral code. I have my own personal moral code that I go by, but my moral code is not the same for the world because I don't have those same circumstances. So I have to be able to look at things objectively and not be judgy. No pun intended. So if you walk into situations where you decide that you can't take how you feel about it, because what you feel really doesn't matter because it doesn't affect you. Get out my uterus. Why
are you whispering?
Why? No, I just said get out my uterus because I'm referring to that.
I know what you're. I know you're saying, and that's ready to come up again, though.
I know, and why? And why? Because everyone has been. Amy Coney Barrett said Roe v. Wade is what do they say? Confirmed law, decided law, the law of the land, whatever. Kavanaugh said the same thing, which is why Susan Collins voted for him, because he said that he would not touch that particular law. And here we go with the BS. But we all knew that was going to happen because we pay attention to those things. And it's unfortunate that we have to allow their personal ideologies to dictate our lives. Because I wouldn't consider myself a Christian. So I couldn't. Why are you why are you making me go by your Christian law?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, and without getting into church and state, I mean, I'm a Christian, right? She is a Christian. You believe in Jesus. You believe in Jesus.
Who?
You might not.
Me?
You. Yes. You believe in Jesus.
No,
you believe in Jesus.
I don't believe in Jesus.
Whatever, nigga.
I don't believe in Jesus, but go ahead.
All right. I'm not going to even go there with you. I'll take that one offline.
You can bring me back with the deacons and y'all can try to convince me, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. That's on you. You die, you go to hell. That's on you. Ain't on me.
That's where all the fun people go. So,
that's where all the fun people going.
Why do I want to go to heaven?
Oh my God!
I don't deserve to be here.
Oh no, I'm not messing with you tonight on that, Ebony. Now we are not going there tonight.
Heaven is not going to be fun. But go ahead.
Oh my God!
Oh, heaven is not going to be fun. I don't think I ever heard that before.
I've never heard that before.
Come on, what's the next topic?
I'm going.
Y'all like we got to change because she's gonna get us all going.
In the words of Daddy Rich, you got to believe in something. So might as well believe in me. That's what he said. Now, the next topic. Listen, we're getting off the Supreme Court. Listen, congratulations, Justice Brown Jackson.
No, stay right there. Because she married. She married. Let's talk about her marriage.
Oh yeah, she married to a white man.
We didn't talk about that.
Well, speaking of church, Bishop.
Hey,
my Lord, Dr. Hassell.
What's up, yos? What's up, Ab? What's up? Wait, I gotta say this because Siri pronounced her name mad funny the other day. Ashia.
So we're gonna do this on the world. We're gonna do this on Beyonce's internet. We about to do this on Beyonce's internet.
Oh, it's Beyonce's internet now, huh?
What's good, yo? It's so good to see all these brilliant, intelligent black people on the line. Y'all all right? Oh, rich. Let me add that part. Rich
black people. Ebony just said, heaven's not going. Ebony said heaven's not going to be fun, so she don't want to go. I was like, what?
She said all the fun people in hell. You can't. But we transition it. We're not going to stay there.
We're not going to stay there because I was like, I'm not messing.
She go choking about 5 minutes.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that drink
choking. She gonna be choking in about 5 minutes.
This is what I do on those uncomfortable ones.
Yeah, you have to fade to black. So
think about it. The people telling you, you gotta go to heaven.
We wasn't doing it. No, we said we wasn't doing it.
Okay.
You think heaven's not gonna be fun?
Dr. Hassell, we said we're not doing it.
I mean, since we are.
Go ahead, Hass.
I don't know. Everything that I enjoy now, I hope it's there.
Right, we can only hope and pray, hope and dream.
But here's the thing about that.
And have faith.
Heaven looks do you think heaven looks different for everyone, or do you think it's all just one place where everyone is?
Ooh. Well, I think that heaven comes to earth and then it looks like where we are now.
Oh, so you're saying we're in the good place?
I'm saying it's going to be a new heaven, as Medea said, a new heaven and a new earth. And therefore it's going to look like what we know and have the things we have without the problems we have. That's kind of my thought.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have just one question. Just one. But it'll take us that way.
It's not the weed talking. It's not the weed talking.
How do I fade to black?
You don't. You can't. Oh, there it is.
I don't have to. That's the thing. I'll come back and talk to the deacons and y'all can try to convince me. That's fine, because I have specific questions, so we can stick a pin in those and just finish talking about Judge Brown and her or Jackson Brown and her husband.
So why do you want to talk about? Oh, all right. So since we hear the New York Post article, why do the author states that black women should marry white men because on an economic level, on an education level, they have more in common with white men than black men. This was a black man writing this article. That the statistics show that the statistics are the same for unmarried black women and divorced black women who are divorced from black men. So that was a rough article. I mean, I was like, ooh. I mean, I don't know
to read the facts, that was rough.
Yeah, the facts were
rough because you can't dispute the numbers. That was rough to read. As a black woman, that was hard to take in those numbers.
As a black man,
won't they be missing some of the fruits? The weight of a black man?
They've been missing their gateway to heaven.
Because
I can a hypothetical situation that's not always true.
Here we go.
Wait a second.
I've heard.
A friend told her.
Allegedly.
So I've heard. That's not always the case. Because y'all have it's black men in the sausages too. See, that's the issue. I needed to go in the oven on 350 for at least 25 minutes, and if it's cornbread, 400 for
hit the broil just a little bit at the top. Yeah, it's not.
Just get it, yeah.
So
but here's my thing. Here's
wait, my intelligence level is not that high. I gotta unpack this whole code.
No, it's no question.
That wasn't for you.
About the oven and the cornbread and biscuits at two different temperatures.
That was me in the field. That was us. That wasn't for y'all.
That bothers me.
But
that's the only thing that frightens me.
Wait a daggone second.
Love who you love. Love whoever it is that you love. I have
but that article is about sheer economics. That article is about sheer economics, which
is about economics. It's not about the compatibility, the culture. It's not about that. It's about economics. That's why I said those numbers hurt, because you can't fight those facts.
I mean, but if it's about in this generation of transactional relationships, that article makes total sense.
Absolutely.
So the Brookings Data Institute, black men are less likely than black women to have completed high school and 50% less likely to have attained a 4-year college degree. Yet, despite the shortage of suitable black partners, black women have also been least likely of any minority group to marry outside of their race. So they rather not get married than marry white men.
Well, you can't help who you're attracted to.
I get it. And
if you, because there's this book, I'm one of those people who read books and say, hey, I'm going to try this. I read this book years ago when I was single, and it's called The Year of Yes. And this lady, for 1 year.
by Shonda Rhimes?
No, not hers. There's another one.
Okay.
Wait a second, doggone it. I like how you just dropped that, by the way. I love how you just dropped that in the middle of the thing. Oh, when I was single, I used to read. I like how you dropped that.
When I was single, this is something that I did.
All right, go ahead.
She said yes to anyone who asked her on a date.
You know, I'm throwing
365
days. You know, I'm throwing.
I gotta find my sound effects. Because
y'all need to relax.
Interesting.
She said yes to anyone, man, woman, anyone who asked her on a date for a full 365 days. And I said, okay, I'm gonna try that. I tried it and it did not work very well for me.
Really?
So, but I can't say I didn't try it. And because I was wondering if I was limiting myself by only saying I wanted to date black men.
I mean, so what didn't work for you?
Are we gonna talk about that date? Yes. We gonna talk about that date? It just wasn't a good date. We were not compatible. So
really,
that just didn't work out for me. Yeah.
So now, Ashia, have you ever dated someone outside of your race?
I have.
How did that go for you?
It didn't go well at all.
Y'all stuttering, boy. Both of y'all stuttering.
I ain't stutter.
It didn't work out well at all. But like I said, the thought of just where are we going with this? Because there is not a possibility that I like at least medium plus steaks. So that's not gonna work. So where are we going? Like, where is this going? So why are we entertaining it?
Why?
I get it, girl.
My mother would have killed me if I brought someone home that
if you can't use your comb.
I dated white, I dated Indian.
Me too. That exact. One of each. And that will two.
But the fact that I just kept feeling like this ain't gonna make it. Never mind. I want you to
say it. Say it.
The fact that I was feeling like I was talking to Aladdin was stressing me out, and I just
yeah, that's that.
I just couldn't.
And I'm not. Only racist people say I'm not racist, but I'm black, so I can't be racist.
I can't.
It was
be
a little
racist.
bit of a language barrier.
I was like, say that again. It just didn't.
A little bit of a language barrier.
The date was like 4 hours because I had to have him keep repeating.
I'm too well behaved for this conversation today.
Yo, they are.
I can't even. I don't speak that.
Because he's like, I am not knowing what you are saying.
So.
Like.
And then I kept thinking I was gonna get apples. Never mind. Dang, keep going. I kept thinking I was gonna get apple scammed.
Oh, so it wasn't.
It
didn't feel real.
Girl, did you say he was a get out? Bye.
Yo,
not a scammer. Not a scammer.
Wait, we getting away from this right now. I don't know.
So the article though, it was really kind of fueled by the fact that social media was trending on Kamala, and Kananji. I like Katanji. Yeah. And how they're both married. So they actually just put the two husbands' pictures up and asked the black community, who are these men? And outside of the context of their wives being there, we would not know who they were.
Correct. I mean, that's essentially, we would not know. Well, yeah, we wouldn't know who they were.
Well, yeah.
We wouldn't know who they were.
Probably.
Well, Thomas doesn't work in the entertainment industry, and I had seen his name before I knew who he was because of where I used to work. So I was aware of his presence. I just did not know that was her husband.
And then you got Carl. Not Carl Thomas. Justice Thomas. What's his first name?
Clarence
Thomas.
We didn't talk about Clarence.
We already talked about him.
Right.
But go ahead.
You got him and his red cap.
His lovely bride.
His red hat and his lovely bride who paid
for buses to get insurrectionists to the Capitol.
Right. She paid for that. She paid all that money for that. Allegedly paid the money for that. So well, I mean, date who you want to date. Date who you want to date. Love who you want to love. You know, it's just interesting that the two black women that were been spotlighted, you know, with Kamala and with Katanji, are both married to successful white men.
Well, I mean, but you also have to think about another thing, because a lot of people want to say, well, how did that even happen? It's all about the circles that you run.
Right. It's all about
they both attended Harvard. They both
right.
attended Harvard.
Correct.
So they were in the same circle.
Right.
And
Correct.
Back a long time ago, I knew this. I was friends with this man who used to play football, and he didn't play that long. And then he got out and he went to college, got his degree, and then he went into sales. And we were talking about why is it that black men always do. And he was like, it's really proximity. He's like, the places that I go and the things that I do, I don't see black women. And the black women that I see are usually with someone. So it's what's around. He said for him, it's what he's around and what he sees. And he said he wasn't opposed to dating a black woman, but it was also a kind of a status thing for him as well. How is she financially? Because for some people that is important. Some people don't care. And when he explained it to me that way, I understood a little more. It started to make more sense.
All right.
I've been married 30 years, so I don't even understand half of the dynamics of dating in this culture. Then again, this whole thing I'm understanding about,
the pool got piss in it.
Give me $40, you know.
This thing's floating in it. It's terrible.
Did you just say the pool got piss in it?
The dating pool got.
Yeah, it does.
It got all kind of doo-doo. It's nasty.
It don't.
I passed by that pool
and
I feel bad for my
sister. Because I won't say it has mess in it because you can see mess floating in the pool. You just walk right into it and then be like, "Dang, it's warm." Yeah. I don't walk in.
I feel for my friends. Whenever I meet anybody, I try to think of a friend that I can hook them up with.
Really? It's that. I mean, I've been married 27 years. So I know nothing about it at all.
It's terrible.
Wow.
It's terrible.
God bless y'all. Good luck. Good luck. See, you should have settled
it. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Listen, watch this. Watch this. She ain't ready to punch you right in my face. See, you should have said yes to MF. Don't say no names. Don't say no names. Say some names.
She went. She was about to cuss you out, Don.
She didn't even know who it was. Look at them damn dimples showing up then. Them dimples came out there. She ready to see. Nobody didn't even know who that is. See, it could be a whole bunch of people with those initials.
I don't know who it is, girl. You good?
She faded black. No, I'm messing around with you. Oh, Eb, don't try because I can throw some out there to you too. Don't even try.
Dante, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
No, I'm not gonna mess with it.
We know each other too well.
Listen. I am the happiest I've ever been in my life.
So now what's crazy is the synergy of the people on the phone. So I've known Ebony for how long? It's been over a decade.
At least 2013.
Right. If not longer than that. I've known Ashia for a long time. I've known her brother forever. I didn't even know he had a baby sister until, probably 10 years ago.
41-year-old, and I'm still being called a baby sister.
Girl, me too.
I'm
somebody's My birthday is, I'll be 48 on Tuesday, and I'm still the baby.
How'd that work?
It's crazy.
It's better than me calling his brat sister. So, okay, just,
I get that.
Right. You coming for me today, boy.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. So Ebony is a copywriter. I'm
a content
creator, whatever you want to call it.
Video editor, writer.
She's basically a genius. So she's helped. I introduced her to Hassell a couple years ago to help with some stuff that he was doing. Ashia is a marketing.
We need Ebs right now. We need you
sure do
right now.
Yeah, we do.
So right this moment.
Like in the heat of the night. Yeah.
So we're gonna make sure we get some stuff together. Email her. Everybody knows how to get in touch. So the synergy is dope. So I forgot about that. I never told you the relationship and how everybody knows each other, but that's how we know each other through business because Black people support Black people. Black people support Black people. We know,
especially when they do a good job and they do
when they do right.
When they do what they say they're gonna do, we support. Now
I'm trying to keep the green black, but sometimes we make it difficult.
Yeah.
Amen. But when you find a person who can supply that need and they just so happen to be Black, it is the sweetest thing ever. Yes. My nail lady is Black, and I never want to leave her.
So speaking of people, so this conversation tonight, and Hassell was
the one who had it, man.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was me.
I thought it was me, so it must be Dante.
No, it's not me. My internet is fine. My internet is fine.
No, it was you. You was breaking
You're
up.
Good now.
Everybody's saying the same.
Everything you just said, say it again.
Okay, so we had this conversation earlier tonight. We want to know, why was Easter so traumatizing to Black church kids? and
before y'all think I'm full heathen, I did grow up in church. So I know them people in the Bible. I know who they is. Anyway.
It was unnecessary trauma, for real.
It really was. Learning them speeches, getting your neck burnt up, trying to pick out an Easter dress, can't wear your new tennis shoes to school on Monday, all kinds of stuff. Why y'all do that? I wasn't that parent. I was not that parent.
I was that parent.
I broke that generational curse. I was not that parent.
It was a curse.
It was a curse. I broke it.
We carrying that thing on. We carrying that curse right on through.
I mean, do they still make the kids learn Easter speeches? Do they even have Easter programs in the afternoon at churches now? I mean, churches so different in 2020.
So the kids at my church are doing Palm Sunday, but they're doing their Easter speeches. But they're doing it so creatively. I'm really impressed. I really am.
Really?
I think it's.
They didn't do it like we did. Stand up there trembling with fear.
Right. Because grandma on the side with the switch. I went to Faithful Central with my dad a few years ago, and they did a full-on production play.
Well, they do a play. Yeah, Faithful Central on Sunday morning is dope. On Easter Sunday, they do
I was like,
production.
is this the Pantages or I'm at church?
I mean, it is dope. I mean, they have the full orchestra. They have the full orchestra. Shout out to Gordon Campbell and the cats there at Faithful Central.
Yeah, my daughter's going. She's going to Faithful Central this weekend.
Yeah, so they do it up there every year. I actually watched their show.
That's our West Coast church.
I hate to say I watched their show. I watched their Easter morning service. I didn't mean to say show.
I actually would love to write an Easter play.
Write it.
You should.
I would love, but not like traditional, like current times.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
It's something I've been knocking around in my brain for a while.
We perform it. I'll get our actors together. We perform it for you.
Now, is heaven gonna be boring?
Probably.
Could be. In her world.
Probably.
That's not right. Heaven is not going to be boring. I don't care what no one says. Heaven is not going to be boring.
What you think you're going to be doing up there, for real?
I don't know. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I don't know. I don't know, but it's got to be better. It got to be better than this nonsense we're dealing with down here, for the most part. And the last thing, Easter speeches and beat downs. Hassell, what did you play? Oh my God! I had nothing to do with that. Y'all, was that really traumatizing with the hot combs and grease?
Hot combs and grease?
Yes. Yes.
What is that traumatizing? That's abuse.
Yes, straight up. Like I said, I broke that curse. I didn't do that to my child.
That was so.
Well, no, that's not true. I did it a couple times.
Appreciating
I did it when she was little, but by the time she got to be like 8 or 9, we didn't have to do all that stuff anymore. And then I lived in San Diego, so I went to a church where you could wear pants. So yeah, I stopped.
Oh, you went to a Foursquare church? No, I'm joking.
I went to The Rock, and he is actually why I no longer attend church. So it's a very full circle moment.
What happened?
Did y'all all freeze? Did everybody freeze?
No, that was like, wait a minute. That sounds.
Because I don't go to church, but
we got to book.
Attending his church is the reason why I no longer go to church.
You have a what, Ashia? Say that again.
You got to break this down. You got to have this is a whole show.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop. Let's reset. Let's reset right now. Go ahead. Now we're gonna reset right now. Resetting the room right now. Go. Yeah. Ed, what happened? What traumatized you at the Rock that make you say you don't want to go to church anymore?
The first thing that traumatized me was Hurricane Katrina.
So before you go there, the Rock Church, was it a predominantly black church? Was it a church that was mixed race, or was it one of these?
A non-denominational church run by Miles McPherson, who was a former Charger.
African American,
black or white?
Yes, he is black, but the majority of the church is not.
Okay.
It's very Hillsong Baptist.
Well, Hillsong's going through right now, so.
No, I mean in terms of size and demographics, it's very Hillsong Baptist.
Okay.
So Hurricane Katrina happened, and my family is from New Orleans.
Right.
So in the midst of that, we're trying to make sure our loved ones are okay. We're sending money, we're sending supplies, we're getting things together because some of our people lost everything and they had to leave the city.
Right.
So I attended church, and it was right after this happened, and Pastor McPherson got up and said, maybe God sent that to that city to cleanse it of all the sin. And I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
don't let one man's ignorance turn you off from Jesus.
Hold on.
Well, go ahead.
I said, oh, okay. So I stopped going. I started going to my old church that I was going to, but I didn't feel like I was being properly nourished in my journey, in my Christian journey. So I went back to where I did feel that, and that was at the Rock. So I'm back at the Rock, go every week. What was it? Barack Obama's first election on the California ballot was Proposition 8, which defined marriage. Now, I am a big believer in the separation of church and state. And I understand that marriage is a contract between two people in the state in which the license is signed. I understand these things. So it really has nothing. One has nothing to do with the other. Just let people get married. They want to get married, let them get married. But he got up and said, I will spend every dime of this church's money to make sure the world knows that a marriage is between a man and a woman. And that was just enough for me, because when I think of God or I think of Jesus, I don't think of a person. I don't think of hate. I don't think of exclusion. I don't think of, I deserve these things and you don't. I don't think that way when it comes to those people. So that was very difficult for me.
All right.
And I left.
mean, I can respect that, in terms of, this is how I feel. And a lot of people might be surprised by this point. In terms of marriage being between a man and a woman, I say this. If they want to get married, let them get married. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not legislating anybody's bedroom, right? I understand from a Christian perspective, what I believe, that's what I believe. As a Christian, I believe in marriage between a man and a woman. I'm okay with that's just what I believe. But I also believe if you want to get married, if you're in a relationship with a same gender loving person, and if you want to get married, so be it. I have same gender loving family. They're married, so be it. I have a same gender loving pastor in my family. She is married. She pastors a church of other individuals who may think like her. That's your business. I can't worry about what y'all doing. I just can't. My job is to make sure that you're treated fair, that I treat you the same way I want to be treated, with love and respect. That's just me. I'm not anybody's pastor either. So, and I believe that a lot of people who get up and rail against it, who preach against it, a lot of times they're preaching and railing against it because they have some skeletons of things that they're running from. We've seen it happen time and time again.
Too many times.
The sin, a lot of times, the sin that the pastor preaches about is the one that they're involved in.
Too many.
You see it all the time, and so long gone, but it has turned an entire generation of people off of church, in my opinion. It has that fire and brimstone preaching against someone's proclivity has turned a whole generation of people off. And again, it's for you. Me, myself, I've seen it. I grew up in it. I grew up when the teenagers, if a teenager got pregnant in church, that she had to stand up in front of the church and apologize, but the dude ain't nowhere to be found.
On the drums.
Right?
You want to talk about that today, too? Oh, wow.
She said he was
she said on the drums. I hate her. I hate her so much. Yo, you are so dumb on the drums. You know what? You're foul, okay? You're foul.
Dante was my drummer. So
9 times out of 10, it is a musician in the church. Or a deacon.
Whatever. Don't be coming for yo. So that's just my take. I don't know, Hassell. Let me ask this. You pastor a church with over 800 people in it. How do you deal with all of this as a pastor in 2022?
I love everybody.
Preach Jesus.
I tell the truth. I preach Jesus. I preach love. I preach sanctification. Jesus. But I preach that you gotta come to that place in your own mind, your own heart, and I'm gonna love you till you get there. Just don't lie to me.
But how do you change the mindset of someone who was where this was beaten into them and they don't believe anything else, like regarding relationships between the same sexes and things that don't bother you, but they still bother? How do you deal with that?
I've been pastoring too long to let anybody get away with judging somebody for a sin they don't participate in. Because as a pastor, first of all, I ain't never met nobody who ain't sinning. Never once have I met somebody who's not sinning. And so if we're going to talk about somebody else's sin, how about we pause and talk about yours first? Then we'll get to theirs. And if they tell me I ain't sinning, they lying, and I don't have to deal with them.
And that's
all of us have our own journey, and I think it's fair to let people know the truth that we should not marry our sin. We shouldn't do all of those things. Yes, that's true. But how about you get the log out your eye? That's what Jesus told us. And that's enough work before I go looking at the splinter in yours. I really
My
believe
grandfather
that.
said, watch your own demons.
That's it, because that's enough to deal with. I promise you. And I just ask people be honest with themselves. If they hear the gospel, listen, don't act like what God said ain't true, but work on it. Walk out your own salvation, with fear and trembling, and do the best you can while you're working on it.
Right. I mean, we all have our own proclivities, and it drives me nuts when we put each other's proclivities on blast without exposing our own. That's just Ashia, did you go black? You didn't want me saying that, Ashia? You didn't want me saying that? Jay Moore, what's up, brother? I see you in here.
Jared?
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good,
but
man.
I'll say in agreement with Eb too that when we were growing up, the guys who was preaching holiness to hell and thumping the pulpit, we found out all the secrets later.
Nick, boy, man.
He said, Nick, boy, man. And it was like, the credibility of that message, first of all, because that ain't in the Bible. But the strength of that message just made it real difficult to remain engaged in church. Because you never felt worthy. Then you realize that they were preaching impossibility.
Like, what? Yeah, like, right. What are you?
And I also got a question, like, we went through 400 years of slavery. Where was the Savior? How come he didn't show up? I got mad questions about that. Also, questions about why is it that we cling so hard to Christianity when we had our own religion where we were from originally? I have a problem with praying to the white man's Jesus. I just got a problem with that. And in the Bible,
but Jesus is not white. But Jesus isn't. But my
like
Jesus ain't. I don't believe Jesus is white.
But who gave him to you?
Not at all.
I don't believe Jesus is white.
Now, I've been to Africa. I've been to Africa.
My grandmama.
12 times. 12
he
different
said my
countries.
Grandmama.
I've been to Africa 12 times, and I don't know that I agree that it's a white man's Jesus, and that Christianity reached Africa before it reached Europe. I know that for a fact, and so I don't know that I can allow the European interpretation of Christianity to cause me to shift my faith.
But we are not in Africa. We are in America, and that is where we were given this particular version of Christianity.
Well, you were also given English. You were also given English as a language in America. You were also given the proclivity to fry your hair and not like your natural kinks. You were also given the proclivity to like light skin more than your own dark skin, to hate your own community. That's what you've been given in America, and so you have to.
I feel like you proved my point.
No, I didn't prove it. I spent a lot of time in Africa so that I can understand where I came from and understand how they see us, because they're not us. African Americans have been conditioned quite uniquely.
I agree. That's why I said I feel like you're agreeing, like you're proving my point.
No, it's not proving your point. It's actually saying that your perspective is skewed by your African Americanness.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I've never been anywhere else.
Well, you need to go somewhere else so you can form a different opinion.
But what I'm saying is this is all that I know, and what I know of it, I don't like it. That's what I'm saying.
But in order for you to have a different perspective, you have to go somewhere else.
So I got to drag her to Africa with me.
So I got to go to Africa to go to church?
No. You need to go to Africa to get the perspective of it was hours before it reached the other land.
No,
England.
You guys, yeah, sure. I'm with you on that side, but as a person who lives in this country and was fed religion in this particular way, that's where it was from.
I guess your perspective is why were the pictures okay, so your point is, why were the pictures that we saw always of a blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus versus a Jesus?
No,
because
I know that.
someone said something years ago that Jesus looks like where you are. So in Japan, Jesus has a more Japanese look. In Africa, he is definitely more, African. He looks African. He is not blonde hair and blue-eyed.
I'm not saying, and I think she's saying that I'm agreeing with her point, because I do believe that American Christianity is not Christianity. Not in its pure sense, because if it was, then slavery would not have been a thing.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be so hateful. I wouldn't think of Christianity and think of hateful people if it were the true form of Christianity.
Right. And so when I came to the conclusion that first of all, that America was not based on Christian principles, that George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson were not Christians, they were deists, and that the slave owners didn't read their Bible. They actually had a separate Bible that helped them to keep their slave codes.
They read it and they figured out how to make us submissive. They knew exactly what they were doing.
I doubt it very seriously. When you read their theology, they didn't. And then they hired Charles Darwin to insert and they paid him for the theories that he propagated about evolution, so that they could justify that black people were 3/5 human beings, and therefore they were to be treated as animals. And that's how they got over the cognitive dissonance that would have been caused by real faith. And when I went to Ghana, I think this is when...
Wait a second!
Hassell, wait.
Wait a second.
I was about to get off. Hassell. Give me those.
You gotta say that again. You gotta say
that again. I was just saying I was getting off, but you stopped me in my tracks.
So what I'm saying is that when Charles Darwin was doing his research, they saw an opportunity for this theory of evolution to dehumanize completely Africans, and to be able to justify the 3/5 clause in our Constitution to say that black people were not fully human, and therefore the cognitive dissonance that was caused by how they were treating them was alleviated by the theory of evolution, and therefore they could treat them like animals. And I was going to say that the thing that what impressed me on this is when I went to Ghana, and I'm saying going to Africa changed it. And at first it reinforced it, but then I understood, because when we were in the slave castle and on Slave Coast in Ghana, the slave quarters, with the point of the door of no return, where the 300 slaves were in 3 feet of feces and urine and blood, waiting for the next slave ship to come. But just 10 feet above their heads was a Lutheran chapel where the captains of the ships worshiped God. And that cognitive dissonance bothered me. But to them, we were stock. We weren't human beings. And that economic just mindset. I live in a city, Yonkers, that's 25 miles from Wall Street, that whatever slaves did not sell on the stock market on Wall Street, they shipped them to Yonkers, to a port 100 feet from where I live right now, where they were sold as animals, with cattle, with goats, with sheep. And that's how they saw us. That was how they dealt with that. They weren't Christians ignoring the gospel. They saw us as animals.
Wow. Put my Cash App down there. We're going to raise it off and put my Cash App down there, Dante.
I'm good.
But that
was a word right there.
That I mean, Eb, it is. he is one of the most prolific. I'm not saying this because he's my brother. I'm saying this because I know for a fact that doctor in front of his name is not because he's not book educated. He's been preaching and studying since I've known him, and I met him when I was in 7th grade, over 40 years ago. So what he's saying and his world travels and his book smarts and his faith, trust me, more people need to listen to what he's saying because it makes sense.
Listen,
not saying that you're not saying that you're not. I mean, you were enjoying it. I knew you were enjoying it because you puffed up.
I too have studied the Bible. So
she was like,
yeah,
she said, let me
I studied
puff up.
it when I was in college as well. And there are just things I don't like. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm joking when I say heaven won't be fun.
I'm with you on that.
But when you think about the caliber of people, the Bible beaters and all that, if that's who's going to heaven, I don't want to.
You don't want to be there? You don't want no part?
It seems like it's going to be a dull place. But yo, in
Yonkers,
can I say something?
they invite me.
Go ahead.
Often to smoke with them and build. Because, it's kind of deep. What up, Jared?
What's going on? I mean, let me just say this. I think everything that you said was absolutely amazing. For me, and of course, everybody knows that I am a minister, been to Bible college and everything. My biggest thing, because I deal with a lot of young people, and so they ask me those questions about this and that. And I tell them, I say, it's simple as this. I say, just because you was taught wrong, don't mean that you got to live wrong. And here's what I mean by that, is that I heard a story about a little girl. She was outside and she came in and saw her mama cooking. Her mama was cooking a roast, and her mama cut the ends off the roast, put it into the pot, and she said, "Mama, why you cut the ends off?" She said, "Well, that's what my mama did." She said, "So I did." So she said, "I go ask her." So she goes and asks her grandma. She said, "Grandma," she said, "why you cut the ends off?" She said, "Well, that's what my mama did. Go ask your great grandmama." And so she goes to her great grandmama. She says, "Great grandma," she says, "my mama was cooking a roast and she cut the ends off. She said that her mama did it. And she said, ask you, why did you do it?" She said, "Well, I don't know why they did it. I did it because my pot was too small." Just because it was wrong don't mean that we got to hold on to it. I learned God from my grandmama. And she told me that Jesus was black. She showed me in the scriptures. That's what I held on to. And I traveled across the country, across the world. I'm in Oklahoma. So I'm with some of the most racist Southern Baptists there are. But I still believe in what I believe in, and can't nobody take that from me. The problem is that we use one scripture and we base a religion off of that instead of reading everything that goes into that. And that's what starts to hurt so many people. Because, Dante knows this. I have a son who's an Israelite now. Grew up in the church. Knows it. But he got hooked up with other people, and now he's questioning so much stuff, and it's because of the fact is that we don't read for ourselves, or what happens is we get hurt, and we just totally leave the church. Once we start to study for ourselves and start to read what the scripture is actually saying, then it makes a lot more sense to you. That's just my little point.
I've read the Bible.
Great.
It was all right.
Say it one more time, nigga. Say it one more time. You said it. Yeah, said it 4 times. We know you read the Bible. But it's not about. But it's not reading. It's not about. It's not about reading the Bible, though. It's about understanding what's in the Bible, the meaning of the scriptures, and then it's also about your faith. You know, like I said, I hate quoting Richard Pryor, but if you're gonna believe in something, you might as well believe in He.
Believe in what?
You believe in He. You know, from the. You ever watch the Gemstone?
Car Wash movie.
Praise ye to He from the mighty Gemstones.
The only Richard Pryor line I remember was, "I dip my cookie in the milk."
So that's that. All right, Eb. So we gonna go to the last topic before we get out of here. We've been on for a minute. Man, listen, the Lakers are trash.
We're not
So
doing
they
this.
out, right?
We're
They
not
out
doing
of.
this.
They out of
They're
the.
home. The Lakers are home.
We're not doing this.
We're
But
gonna
who
talk about
cares? We all live on the East Coast. What do I care about the Lakers?
We're not doing this.
I mean,
I'm mad
I'm from the
that
shop.
the Knicks
You gonna
let that
disrespect me while
lead
I'm
go.
in Los Angeles?
Yo, the Knicks.
I'm
I
10
was
minutes
just
from the crypto center. You
I
gonna
was just
disrespect me like that?
I was just getting ready to talk about the Knicks. The Knicks were up hard on Brooklyn the other
40
night.
points.
Like, what are y'all doing?
Okay, let's talk about the Lakers again.
And then,
Just
Nah,
so
Your feelings is hurt, huh?
Nah, I want to talk
Knicks
about.
ain't never
Okay.
been good.
All right, stop. So,
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something
don't
about
say
the
nothing
Lakers?
about. Don't say nothing about Ebony's pole in the picture right now. She'll move the camera so everybody
Let
can
me-
see it. So,
Cause the sun moved.
No. Let me say this about the Lakers.
get it, Ash. Get it, Ash. Go.
Hey.
Not today.
I wasn't gonna say that. Listen, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But in that right corner, my right, her left, I kept looking like,
This was a pandemic purchase.
Shout
Okay.
out
It
to
didn't turn into
Camille.
a
Is
fans
it
only
secured
page.
well? I just don't want you to get hurt.
Yes.
I just want to make
This
sure.
was
out
a
to Camille.
pandemic purchase. Just FYI. Pandemic purchase.
Camille's gonna watch this and she's gonna play Ma. Why you
No,
got
she's not. Camille's gonna say, "Ma, why you didn't get on it?" That's what Camille's say.
so. But let me
My
say
eyes
this
is
about
watering
the
right
Lakers.
now.
My,
I'm serious.
my son is a LeBron fan. He's a LeBron fanatic. And so me and him last night, we talked for almost 2 hours. And he said something to me that made a whole lot of sense. He said that the Lakers made decisions off emotions and not proper business thoughts.
Okay.
Because you had the chance to get DeMar DeRozan, but because Westbrook was LeBron's boy, they based it off emotion. If you look at the past 3 years, Westbrook has, besides his triple-double, even though he averaged a triple-double, his teams were still losing teams.
Right.
The Lakers didn't look at it as a business decision. They looked at it as emotional decision. And whenever you base business off emotion, you will always lose.
Well, we've been telling you that forever.
And this is why they're in the situation they're in.
We've been telling you that forever. So
Listen,
listen.
you've been telling him that.
I've been telling Jerry that forever. So get out your emotions.
But emotion,
See. Yeah. See, don't even say it. Just let it go. Let it go.
We're not going to
do that today. Not going to do that tonight.
Bishop, talk to your boy.
Listen, we had a good night tonight, man. Up here just having a good conversation Friday night. Ashia just sent me a message that she got to go because evidently she get ready to pull a Sean and go out on a date somewhere. So
okay, girl. Don't forget your condoms. Got to stay ready. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, sis.
Oh my God.
I'm coming out that way next week.
Only well done thing that's acceptable. Amen.
That's acceptable.
I'm coming out that way next week.
Oh, that's right. He's gonna be out your way. You know this is live, so everybody on Facebook know and Spotify know where you're gonna be next week. Y'all talk offline. Don't take that message.
Well, I'll be in Charlotte the week after next.
So next week's show, my man.
I'm not participating in that.
The next week's show is gonna be clean. It's gonna be a clean show. I got my man Will Richardson coming on next week. I have another special guest that I'm confirming right now. It's her birthday next week, evidently. So she's planning her birthday trip, but I told her she need to come on. Give me a day next week that she can come on. So Ebony, your cousin. Your cousin that shares your last name with you. Yeah.
And birthday.
And birthday. The birthday's the same day. That's right.
She's just a year older than me.
Correct.
We have the same birthday.
Correct. So we're gonna have a good show next week, and then the week after is gonna be something special. I don't know if I'm gonna do a show live. We might do it live from the restaurant. Hassell's gonna be in town. We're all gonna be in town for William Richardson's concert here in Charlotte on the 22nd. So we might do something live. I don't know. But we're gonna have a good time while we're here in Charlotte. So it's gonna be the turn up. Dr. Bowman's gonna be in town. Hassell's gonna be in town. Maurice is gonna be in town. So we're gonna have a good time. So next week, yo, check us out. We're gonna be on Thursday night rather. Next Thursday night, 7:30. William Richardson is gonna be joining us. A couple other people are gonna be joining us. I want to thank my guests tonight: Ebony, Ashia, Jerry, Bishop Hass.
I enjoyed y'all tonight. I wish I'd gotten on earlier. We were at dinner.
Yo.
Nah, you didn't need to be on earlier. You came on just on time, just in time. Because if you were on earlier, you would have faded to black 5. You'd have faded to black 5 minutes into the show if you would have.
There you
would
go.
have been on earlier. Right. Listen, thank you all for joining us. Have a good night, Ebs. Puff one more time for us. I can't do it, so you got to puff one more time. You have any left? No,
I'm good, you guys.
All right,
probably
good night.
It's time, bedtime. Huh?
I'm about to go finish watching Law and Order and play fetch with my puppy.
Oh God!
Yeah,
all right,
I'll hit you up when I get out there.
Y'all be easy. Have a good night.
Y'all have a
Y'all
good
stay on for a second. I'm gonna end the broadcast. Y'all stay on for a minute. I'll edit this out.